I think many people realize that storytelling, the ability to make sense of a complex reality and run a line through it, is an incredibly important skill for entrepreneurs. A startup is like a community activity. A group of people come together. It's not just about the entrepreneurs, it's about the investors around them, it's around about the mentors around them. And a critical thing that people ask themselves is, why are we doing this, and are we making any progress? So I think storytelling is what holds it all together, actually. It's one of the reasons why sometimes accelerators and incubators are criticized for putting too much emphasis on a pitch day, a demo day. And I actually think there's something to be said for it, because if you can't explain your business in 5 to 6 minutes and tell a convincing story as to why it's worth taking further, then what have you actually got? Human beings grew up in caves telling each other stories, and it's the most basic form of communication. And I think it's incredibly valuable still to this day to help people make sense of what they're doing.
This topic, entrepreneurship and technology entrepreneurship, is widely covered, and so there are some great people who have spoken great things. And so, for in particular, there is Steve Jobs, who had this interview where he said everything around us is made by people, and you can change it.
Do you think that data is going to be the new currency in the world? I mean, is that something that people are going to go after?
No, I think the currency will stay the currency. Data will be the world. It will be more important than the currency. At the end of the day, the currency is just about exchanging. The data will be what you have and what you need to exchange to something else, because everything in the world will be described in data, and so data is sort of going to be more important than currency. Currency will be data. So one thing which is obviously important is that all of the currencies will be digital, and that's just a matter of time before it's the case, but data is more than currency.
I think for me, it's really finding what makes my fire burn, so to speak. What gets me really excited about games. For example, I'm really passionate about positive games that entertain and give back. And so, once I started down that path, really just thinking about the possibilities that games have to really enhance people's lives in a very positive way, that's been my main focus. And there's been good times and there's been very bad times in that journey. And I always come back to, at the end of the day, this is all about finding ways to make games that have this positive impact on people. And if I can have a positive impact on just one player, then it's all worth it. So it's really just going back to what makes me really excited about what I do. Even when times are dark, it makes it all worth it.
So I think we all have ideas and we all create new ways of doing things. But turning that into a company is a very, very different thing. You have to be prepared for the good and the bad. You need very thick skin, and you've got to have a very high tolerance for risk. It's not for everyone. So I'm approached often to be a mentor to young people starting a company. I think that's the best thing they can do. And I think perhaps the best thing they can do is fail doing that, but fail really fast. And then they have the ultimate satisfaction of knowing they tried something, they learned from it, and then when they approach their next startup, they will do that more intelligently.
Treat all people fairly. This is not a vertical society, it's a flat society. Whether somebody's older than you and younger than you, that's just respect. He knows a little bit more than you do. Respect person in that, but it's an equal society, and that's probably the toughest one. But I think the young people, and if you look at the ethnicity of the new companies, the good companies, there is no ethnicity. I think it's more importantly, you look at the officers, you look at these companies that are going, it's a company in China, but they're picking a guy out of Canada. Okay, why that? Well, just because he had this kind of a background, or it's a company in Japan. The Japanese are even slowly changing, and they're now bringing people in. I mean, Carlos Ghosn is the when Nissan made that decision a decade ago, it was revolutionary. Well, he reinvigorated an entire auto industry, and it spread from the top down, not just at Nissan, but it went all the way across Toyota and everybody. So changes like that can be made. So I think cultural entrepreneurship is really going to be a key. We're all equal. It's about our individual talents, and stick with that. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.